just record it. So is it recording? Yes, it is recording. The third time, the first time your MacBook wouldn't cooperate. Second time, my
Crazy.
3-year-old laptop, 3 year out of five. I'm on a 5-year contract because you pay $100 for every year you want. So it's letting me know it's ready to opt out soon. That's what it's telling me. That's what it's telling me. But
It's
anyway,
getting there.
it's getting
Got
there.
it.
Okay. So third time, once again, 15 minutes or less.
We in there.
Everybody that's tuning in and the potential people who want to be on this podcast, hello. Once again, I'm going to introduce my good friend, my boy, my former co-worker, Mr. Raheem McKinney.
Yo,
What's going on?
what's good, man?
Ain't nothing, man. Once again, how you doing? We got to go back to work tomorrow. How you doing?
Hey, man. Won't complain, man. Won't complain. Just got to get back in that mental state.
Yep.
You know,
Hmm.
take a day at a time. Like you
Yes.
said, take it a day at a time.
I will say, I don't know about you. I think a lot of like parents and the kids been on edge a little bit because it's, like you said, it's a new thing for all of us.
Yeah.
It's a new thing. We never been through this. The parents never been through this. But I had one of my parents that I used to work with in the afternoon say like, this kind of break been kind of opening her eyes, you know,
Hmm.
like just opening her eyes just to just her kids.
Yeah.
So I think it's been a eye opener for everybody, for the teachers,
Yeah.
educators. What you think?
Yeah. It's most definitely been an eye
Hmm.
opener to everybody. Like you said, man, this is brand new. We never experienced this as teachers, even as students, man. So it's a lot of things that we're doing, man, that even, parents, a lot of parents don't realize. Like, there's a lot of things that we're doing, man, that we really don't have experience in. So
Mm-mm.
as we're teaching ourselves, we're teaching their children. So we're kind of doing a lot of things on the fly, not by choice.
Hmm.
We have no choice but to do things kind of on the fly with certain things that we may
Hmm.
use to, far as the virtual stuff, man. This is not something that we've been doing a lot of,
Hmm.
so it's requiring us to do some very odd and different things, but at the
Hmm.
same time, still get some education in there somewhere, man. But
Hmm.
we gotta take a day at a time.
One day at a time. And like I kind of told you before, I've been, my brother's home, so I kind of just been spending time with him and my family. And
Yeah,
before we kind of logged on, I was talking to my dad. He's Dr. Umar Johnson, Boyce
yeah,
Watkins, Judge Joe Brown. He's anti CNN.
yeah,
And I don't know how you feel about Dr. Umar. I told him uh, some of the stuff he says is really good, but I don't
yeah.
agree with everything. But
Exactly.
I'd rather listen to him than CNN. But
Oh yeah.
apparently, Dr. Umar was talking about Nipsey Hussle, and he
Uh
was
huh.
saying how they was trying to make him into like the Black Martyr. And I always felt like when Nipsey died, I always felt like
Mm.
they kind of overhyped his entire career, his entire persona. And I mean, I think he was a good guy, but I
Yeah.
didn't think he was next to Martin Luther King at all.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know what you thought about that, but when my dad said, I said, you know what, I'm gonna ask Raheem. I'm gonna ask
Yeah.
him. What do
Yeah,
you
man.
what did you think about that?
To keep it 100 with you, man. If we're gonna talk about Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace to the man.
Mm-hmm.
As far as a musician, like of course I've heard of his music, but
Same.
I wasn't deep. I wasn't deep into his music like that. So
I don't think.
a lot of people,
Oh no,
a
go
lot
ahead.
of people, when once they figured out, he passed away, we in this social media, generation where, if you don't put it out there, people don't believe you. So when he passed away, you had a lot of these people who so-called listen to his music, and they didn't really listen to his music, but they wanted to be the first to put it out there, to be like, I was on Nipsey before, y'all known him as far as being a businessman. So, y'all slept on him for all this time. Don't try to jump on the bandwagon or the train now that you see that, he's starting to get his flowers. But, honestly, it's just, as far as his music, like I said, I heard some of his music, but I wasn't deep into his music like that until, sadly, once he went away, because people don't realize this as far as artistry, whether you, and when I mean artistry, I mean anything that's in the creative space. And it's true. When you're an artist, you don't get your full appreciation of an artist until either they pass away or they retire from it, So, we can go all the way back to, plenty people, we can talk about the Aaliyahs, we like their music, but the fact that, that she's not here anymore, how people cherish it more.
Yeah.
Or, the Bascot, the famous artist, he did some great things, but the fact that he's been, dead for this long time, his art pieces have sold for millions, just because artists truly don't get their appreciation until, like I said, either they're passed away or, they stop doing it. But yeah, man, with Nipsey, I definitely respect what he was doing, man. At the same time, I'm not a guy to want to feel like that I gotta prove a point to someone that, okay, I was listening to this guy back in 2012, man. So y'all shouldn't even, what y'all know about this? Y'all just getting on him now because of of his passing. But sometimes that's what it takes. People, when you're in that when you're in the spotlight, you're gonna affect people even after you pass away. So it was purpose in his passing. It took him passing away for a lot of people to see what, things that he was doing that he wasn't getting any credit for. And if he was still alive, he still would have been kind of working towards, still doing his thing, grinding and getting bigger in the business game. But people still probably wouldn't have known him like that until he passed away.
I'll say two things too, kind of like what you were saying, like how everybody, once they want to get to the first place, like, oh well, I was listening to him since 2009. Like I've always known who he was. I knew he sold his mixtapes. I think he had 1,000 mixtapes for like $100 and made money independently. It's kind of like, me and you, we Travis Scott's fan. We was listening to Travis Scott for years. He was on Birds in the Trap. Same, it's Birds in the Trap, Same at Night. And I remember when Astro World dropped, we think that's an incredible album. But see, if you're a fan of Travis before, then you'll kind of be like, well, Birds is that album. But you also, I'm not going to sit here and be mad at somebody if they say Astro World is better. Or Travis Scott now, post Kylie Jenner, the highest in the room. And
right.
Scott. So same with Nipsey. I mean, if you like him, you like him, whether you started listening to him in March of 2015 or you listen to him in 2009. It doesn't really matter. But I will say this. I do appreciate that he was a family man. And, in this day and age, like with, Black men, we have this thing where we want to go date everybody and stuff. And he was a family man. And so, you're a married man. And, I remember me and you always had conversations about, women that we dated and we went through our trials and tribulations. And I remember, like I said, you told me, like, hey, man, I'm with your wife, Jasmine, hey, it's time. And I guess I wonder for you, were you afraid to kind of take that plunge to being, just, hey, I'm going to be a married guy. I'm going to be a woman man. Like I said, it's just like that stereotype is like, you're in your 20s and Black men, like, we're not committed people. And we don't, you took that leap, I don't know too many of my friends in the 20s that are married, Black men at that. So,
yeah, man. Like I've been married, man. We just came up on a year, man. I got married 2019, December 8th.
So, 1 week before my birthday.
Yeah, so we a little over a year now, man. It is going by fast, I tell you that. It doesn't even feel like it's been that long already. I guess, with all the stuff we've endured, you know, this COVID and all this has made 2020 go by so fast.
Boy, did it.
But yeah, man, just as far as, you know, I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers to relationships, but you know, as a man, if you're looking for something, you know, you're searching for something, there's certain things that you know you, you're looking for it. And I hope you can hear that. Oh Lord.
It's okay. I got my brother's dog back here, so you might hear her barking.
Okay, okay.
Hopefully not though.
But you know, like what I was saying, you know, it's certain things that you look for in your partner, in your future partner, man.
Mhm.
So, you know, it takes some maturity. Since I'm a man, I just speak on a man's perspective. You know, it takes a certain level of maturity, man, to realize, you know, all right, you know, this is serious. Like, okay, this relationship I have with this woman, this young lady is, you know, look at the pros and cons of it, man. See,
Yeah.
okay, you know, can I is this that she's checking off these certain things that I'm looking for, and the certain things that maybe you guys need to work on. Is it worth being together and working on those things, or can you not tolerate those things?
Mhm.
But as you date and stuff, man, you gotta date with a purpose. Like I said, we had our conversations. We've been young men. It's okay. You know, you out there, you free. You know, do what you do. I won't say it's nothing. I won't tell
Yeah.
you what's wrong, man. But all what I always stuck to is whatever you do, man, is you keep it 100 with whatever you do.
You know what? And we got a few minutes. You know Dr. Rhett, Tanya Rhett, one of my best friends, and
Yeah,
she this whole break, man, she jumped on me. She said that I have to work on being vulnerable, and I think to get to the step that you are, you have to be vulnerable. And I know, I'm an educator, got two jobs. You know, I got
yeah,
books that I wrote, and I'm doing things like this. I am a pretty focused person, but I do have to work on, like in the dating room, like with women over the years, I have not been the most vulnerable. And
got you.
and I think, like I said, to get to where you are, to be married to a woman, you have to kind of be vulnerable. Just like women's vulnerable, Jasmine was vulnerable to you. You had to be vulnerable to her. Like, hey, I want to spend my life with you. And I don't think I did stuff like that. But
Yeah,
2021, if I do date someone, I do want to work on that. So
yeah.
let's just say you kind of giving me a goal to work. Ha.
Hey, man, you can do it, man. But along with the vulnerability, man, it's like you got to make sure that okay, this is someone that I'm definitely going to be serious with, because you don't want to be vulnerable with someone and then boom, they're gone. Y'all not even on that level of relationship anymore. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
not even dating exclusively anymore. Y'all back to just maybe regular old friends.
Yeah.
So it takes time, man. It takes time. You gotta learn. You gotta learn the person you're dating. Like seriously, a lot of people, in this world, a lot of the relationships don't last because they don't really know the person that they're with, man. Like they only with them when they happy. They only see one side of them. They not being around them when they may be in a struggle,
And I,
or they need some help, some guidance with certain things. That's when you see what type of person that you're investing your time in.
I'll say this too. You made it through, the quarantine with your wife, and this was 2020 was tough for
Man,
anybody, single and married, but you did it. There was a lot of divorces.
hey bro, let me tell you this, because I don't think you knew about this, because I never really went super, I didn't really go super viral with it, but man, I had COVID, bro.
I think you told me. Was it over the summer?
I had COVID, man, in November when I got sick with COVID-19, man, and I was out of school for the
No,
whole
I don't think you
November.
told me. I don't think you told me that. I think, did you? I don't
I
think so.
don't know. I don't know. But since
Y'all
you
made
brought
it.
it up,
Yeah.
with the challenges, man, like, number one, let me say this. COVID's no joke, man. People that's not taking this seriously, like, it's no fun at all. And you, of course, we know people who hasn't survived this, man.
Yeah.
So, with me, I was taking all the precautions and doing everything I had to do. But of course, we are teachers, man, and we're on the front lines
Every
dealing
day.
with COVID, man. So I went down with COVID. It was November 9th. November 9th is when I started feeling funny. And I went to test November 10th. That was a Tuesday. And I was positive, man, and it was no fun, man. I was down. I was on my back. Like, man, I had 102 fever. I had body aches, man. The body aches were so painful, man. Like, yeah, it was like flu times like 5. Like the body aches I had, man, it just felt like it was just people just stoning me. Like people just throwing rocks at me on my back. Man.
That sounds like the flu.
Yeah, it's pretty much the flu. It's just way more intense, I would say.
Man, I remember I had the flu. We got like a minute left. I had the flu in high school. It was a stomach flu.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing I've ever had in my entire life. I threw up 6 times, and I spent the entire day in pain watching Bad Girls Club for like 6 hours. I didn't want to change the channel. No, I wanted to change the channel, but I couldn't because I was in so much pain. So the remote was like 5 feet away, but I said, I'd rather sit in pain and watch this than try to move.
It's no joke.
I had to throw up, and I hope this ain't graphic. I had to throw up, man. I had to crawl on the floor.
Yeah, I was the same way.
Woo!
And I lost 15 pounds, man. I lost 15 pounds in that time because I went to the doctor the week before I was sick, and I was 210 pounds when I went to the doctor.
You came back 195.
Yeah, and then when
weight back?
Yeah, I'm about 199, 200 right now. I'm back to about feeling myself. I say I'm about 99%. But yeah, man, when I finally went back to the gym and I was leaving the gym one day, I was like, man, let me check the scale, see what I had. Bro, I was 195 when I stepped back into the gym because you weren't eating, man. You didn't have no appetite. And then I'm still suffering with the lack of pretty much taste, bro. I can't really taste a lot of things.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like my smell is okay, but my taste hasn't really been there. So that was another reason with me losing weight, man. It's like, number one, you didn't have an appetite. Then number two, even if you wanted to eat something, you couldn't taste it. So it's like you weren't getting any pleasure out of eating. You were eating because you knew you needed that energy to live. So it wasn't no joke, man. But I'm glad to, have recovered from it, man, and feeling like myself again. I'm back working out and all that stuff. That's what makes me feel good. And yeah, man, it's no joke. It's no joke.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna let that one. That's like a little mini PSA for everybody that's not taking it serious. I don't care what side of the spectrum you on with COVID, whether you don't believe it or you're someone that sprays everybody when they walk in. Just wear a mask. McKinney just told y'all. Raheem told y'all to wear a mask.
Do it all, man. Wash your hands. Put that mask on. Social distance, man.
All of it. I don't
care.
Best
that you can.
Walk in. I'm at GNC. We don't put the mask mandate up. I don't care what you think. Put the mask on. I tell them put the mask on.
It's like, man, we don't like it. I don't like wearing the mask. No, I don't like wearing it.
Can't breathe.
I'm not the greatest mathematician, but if the mask is going to decrease the chance,
I'm going with the chances.
Then go and wear the mask. That's what it's all about.
Simple.
Logical, man. You got these people who just want to be a rebel and I don't need the mask. That's where we're in the state now where we don't care about things until it happens to us. We don't care until it's at our front door.
But you know what? This is a red state, so it's par for the course.
But, yep. You got something there.
Well, McKinney, I always call you McKinney. That's the Windsor thing. Raheem, thank you so much for joining us, man. I'm about to chop this up, and I'm gonna go ahead and release this to the babies.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it, man.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you.
You got my contact
all day,
man.
All day.
If you need another mouthpiece or anything, man, just let me know. I'll make time for it, man.
I want you to come back. So I'll keep you updated, though. I appreciate you, my boy.
All right, man. You have a great one. Hope stay healthy. And
Yes, sir.
we can put our best foot forward. Now we start back at the grind tomorrow, man.
Yes, sir, man. I'm gonna go to bed early.
All right, yes, sir.
All right, Raheem.
All right, bro.
All right. Peace out.
Yes, sir.